Test Chamber returns with a look at Dead Island Riptide, the sequel to Dead Island. I'm your host, Andrew Reiner. Tim Turi is playing the game.
Hello.
You may have read his review. It's up on GameInformer.com right now. Tim, you enjoyed this game. You enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, they are fun games despite themselves. There are definitely problems with them, but they're still fun.
Yeah, I had a blast with the first one.
Yeah.
I loved kicking dudes, kicking zombies with the boot.
Oh man, kicking zombies is even better in this game.
And we had some awesome 4-player Game Informer co-op sessions. We were all playing together, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So when this game came out, or when it was announced, everyone thought it was just going to be an expansion or like a big DLC pack.
It wasn't really clear, when you don't have a number in the sequel or in the title of the sequel, it gets kind of weird. But it's very, very similar to the first game. There's some small little changes, but yeah, for all intents and purposes, this is a new game. At the end of the first Dead Island, they escape off their island. Spoilers, because they're all in this game. And at the beginning of this game, that helicopter lands on a military ship, and they are like taken prisoner, but then there's an outbreak on the ship. Oh no. And yeah, right. And that brings us to here. I am on the ship. I'm trying to get off the ship, and this is a guy named John Morgan, I believe his last name is. He is the new character for the game, and he's already on the ship, and he was detained in the brig, and he's kind of like he pushes back against authority and stuff, but he's a hand-to-hand combat character, and I really like him, and I'll show you some of the reasons why I like him after we find some zombies.
Right now, you're kind of a door inspector.
Yes, absolutely. Very good at my job. So I think the engine room just blew up. That's what we just experienced here. And I gotta put that fire out. Don't even think about using this fire extinguisher. I did. That is a red herring.
That is the logical thing to do.
Yes.
That is what anyone should do in this instance.
Absolutely. Maybe it's a little big for
yeah, maybe get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. But there is something that I can fix, and then some zombies are going to attack, so...
You're going to turn off the gas, I bet.
Mm-hmm. So the cool thing is, with this new character, I was actually able to... There's preset things for... there's skill trees in this game. It's got a lot of RPG elements. You level up, find new loot, and stuff like that. And you can assign, they give you 15 skill points to just assign however you want. So I pumped some into this character. I can show you real quick, if I go to the right menu, that I already developed this middle skill tree to try to get me this big boot one. It's got like this sprinting kick attack that makes zombies go flying, this uppercut thing.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, you're going to like it. So you can just pump 15 skill points in right away, or do these preset ones, or import your old characters, and you'll have all the skill trees. All that the imports bring over is skill trees and level.
So all those characters were douchebags. How does this guy fit in?
Xian was pretty cool, the lady blade master. Look at that!
I played as a professional football player, I think.
Oh yeah, he sucked. Logan, the throwing... Alright, watch, I'm going to sprint at him.
Yeah!
Yeah, right? He lost an arm in this situation. Alright, I want him to go over the edge, if I can make that happen. Alright, hold on.
That's the Stallone sequel to Over the Top.
Over the edge. Oh, rats. What I love about kicking zombies in this game is that not only do they go flying, but he takes extra damage from whatever he hits in the environment. So if he just happens to ragdoll his head into a wall, his head's off and he's dead. Another nice thing about this game is the instant, just take the zombie's head off, which is, if you ever fantasized about, the zombie apocalypse or watched Walking Dead, you know that every bullet counts, and you should try to... this is fast. And not only do bullets count, but weapons have durability, so you have to be careful about overusing them.
The other thing you got to think about, which no one ever does in the apocalypse, is your shoes. They're going to wear down if you keep doing stuff like this. You're going to get blood on them. I would just not do anything.
Oh, yeah. Just hang out.
Just hang out, eat my rations, keep my clothes clean.
Yeah. That's very smart. That is not...
See that right there? Not smart.
No, because now there's blood on his Timberlands or whatever he's got. There's a lot of searching the environment for items. So if you don't like doing this in like games like BioShock or Oblivion, you're going to get tired of it here too. Man, I just kicked him right in the head.
One of my biggest problems with the first one was the weapons broke so easily.
Yeah, durability is a little more forgiving in this one, which is nice. Especially with a character like this guy, that sprinting kick, and I also have this uppercut attack, make it so that I don't have to use weapons all the time. He's also a hand-to-hand specialist, so when I did have to use weapons, I had these claws that were just so deadly that I would kill so many zombies without them ever really degrading.
It's not a zombie, it's just an old guy.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, there's some weird glowing beard stuff going on in this game in certain situations. And like I mentioned before, this game is pretty unpolished, and there's bugs and weird stuff around. Like, I had some problems in the first game where like a weapon would just disappear, or zombies will phase up walls or something, or just kind of the physics are inconsistent and their AI is erratic. Like they'll bash at a barricade during like a defense scenario, which are new to this game. And then as soon as they break down the barrier, they'll just like wander away like they smelled donuts in the break room or something. And so
our job here is done. Let's go get some donuts.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't sign up for the eating these people part. But despite that, like I can't overstate that enough. Like, there are so many problems with this game, and there are bugs around but like it's one of those situations where when it's good and when you're having fun and just beating the crap out of zombies, especially with the 4-player co-op with friends, like it's hard to top it. Like, the melee combat is so weighty and satisfying, and I should actually probably use my crowbar to show that off. And there's just this nice really sense of space, and like that kind of Mirror's Edge, Bullet Storm type, like everything feels deliberate and fluid and stuff.
Yeah, I had fun just kind of running around the cities. Obviously, they weren't gigantic, but going into buildings, looting, walking cautiously through structures, fearing that there might be a zombie there.
Yeah.
And then doing all the side quests and then having friends jump in and play.
Yeah.
It was a fun time. It was a good game. What are they doing with zombie types? Obviously, as the game went on, you ran into the hulking beasts and stuff like that. Anything new?
So all those old familiar ones are back, but there are some new ones, like a giant like wrestler type that has these big ground pound attacks, and there's a grenadier type that will throw pieces of his own like rotting flesh at you. There's zombie types that like you can boat in this game. You can get boats and kind of go through the flooded waterways and channels. And there'll be zombies that look like they're dead, and as soon as you drive by them in your boat, they come to life and try to crawl up it, and so you have to like drive your boat against the rocks to get them off. So there's some new stuff going on in this game. There's not an overwhelming amount of like that's incredible. He's the best. This John guy is the best character in the series so far to play. He's super satisfying. I should do my uppercut attack.
Well, I'm torn. Should I continue playing as my douchebag football player, or should I just start new with this guy?
Look at that. I think that should speak for itself. Yeah. And this is just the beginning of the game. He was maybe even a little overpowered throughout the entire game. I never felt like I was really at a disadvantage at any point, but I never cared because I was just having fun. So I do recommend maybe just starting as John. And that's a nice thing is, unless you have a character who you like maxed out all their skill trees, having those 15 points to allocate at the beginning is really nice.
And then obviously firearms were rare for like the first few hours in the last game.
Yeah.
And then eventually you got a few of them. What's the status on those in this one?
So I'm actually probably not that far from it, but they toss some guns at you. Hey, here we go. Early on, just to kind of give you a little bit of a tease to what's to come. And then, yeah, like the first game where they're rare.
Are you going to lose all your stuff here, or are they going to...
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. We're not that far off from it, so I don't feel bad saying that. But you end up, washing up on shore, where most of the rest of the preview coverage for the game has shown, and you just have a knife, and then you got to start that old pattern over again of getting everything back. So I can show you some of it. The gunplay is not as satisfying as the melee combat, but a well placed headshot is always a good feeling. There we go. He's having a bad.
It's gone, man.
He's having a bad time.
It's gone.
Just get over it. And like the nice thing about, firing off the gun is you get him back on the ground, finish him off with some head stomps, and like this is what the game is. This is fun to me. I love just managing crowds of zombies and putting them down, or having to run and just hightail it out of there if there's too many of them, because There's something great about if you get blindsided by a zombie, even if you're really strong and it's later in the game, they can still just decimate you. One can do a lot of damage. And few games, man, like are able to keep zombies that threatening on an individual basis while, not making it completely unfair. I'll meet you halfway, buddy. And
he's one of those infected guys.
yeah, the faster but weaker types.
Shwep.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, there's slowdown with every dramatic kill like that, or that old thing where it's like the last dude to get killed in a group.
This is a cool beginning to the game, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not
Not
bad.
as cool as the nightclub in the last one, though. That was a weird series of events.
That was really weird, actually.
I felt uncomfortable watching that.
Yeah, as your character just kind of like hits on all the girls and stuff, and
He's doing drugs, drinking a lot. That was weird.
there's going to be a pretty big firefight coming up here, so I can get to that.
Yeah, and what about the zones? Like, what about the island? Obviously, it started out tropical paradise, and then it kind of, once you did that section, you went jungle, and then or a city, and then the jungle. They actually had a lot of different areas in the first one.
You end up in a jungle again. Oh, also, I should mention the penalty for death's pretty minimal. You just lose a little bit of cash and start pretty close to where you were. But yeah, you start in like flooded swamps, which are pretty interesting to go and explore. And then you end up in this sort of resort town that's been flooded, and there's not probably as much variety in the first game, but I think the areas overall are more interesting. You go through some sewers again, stuff like that. But my favorite bits involve kind of boating around the swamps and collecting stuff and trying to cruise past zombies without them grabbing onto the ship. It's very similar to the first game. I would honestly say that despite this game is a little bit cheaper than your average new retail game, if you haven't played the first one and you want to figure out what the series is all about, you could probably go and get your hands on the original for cheaper now and get a really good sense of it. There's really no, unless this character, the hand-to-hand guy seems really alluring to you. I recommend checking out the series, but
yeah, I really enjoyed the first one. Like you said, it was rough around the edges, but just a cool kind of post-apocalyptic zombie survival game. I thought they did a pretty good job with it.
And this game is also rough around the edges, and it's probably rougher around the edges than the original. There's some serious frame rate issues on the console versions.
We're playing on 360 right now.
Yeah.
It's also on PC and PS3.
Yes. And that's the thing, is this was a case with the original too, when people started talking about their experiences with the game. It was really case by case, and some people had a really smooth time with the game, and other people encountered more bugs and glitches. I had a really buggy run on 360, and so that sort of encountered some on PC and PS3. But it's still fun despite those, in my opinion. So, let's see if I can get this. The Suiciders are your common shoot this guy and he explodes type. Should get an assault
see if
rifle.
you can get all of them.
Yeah. You'll get a lot of slowdown in situations like that, or at least I did. So it's definitely a game that's worth playing with friends too. And if you're worried about it, like the sort of Borderlands style, it's difficult to find a group of friends that are all around the same level or the same quests. It's pretty fluid in this game. If you started Reiner and let's say I was level 40 and you hopped in and you were level 1, you would see all level 1 guys and I'd see all level, high level characters. So
seriously?
Yeah, it scales to that perfectly. It's actually a patch that they implemented in the original game. I think it was late last year, and it's really helpful.
I like that achievement.
So it makes it really easy to hop in with friends.
That guy's way too tall.
Yeah, he's thug, so he's slightly harder than your average zombie bear.
All right, Tim. Well, I think that's a pretty good look. We'll cut off before the big wreck or whatever happens here. But thanks for joining me. Thanks for giving us this look, and thank you all for watching. The game's available as of Tuesday, available now. So if you like what you saw, you can go play it. And if you need more info yet, go read Tim's review. Thanks for watching. See you next time.